Okay, hi, and welcome to Psychology 5, Personal and Social Adjustment. So, what you're in for this class is you're going to do a lot of self awareness work where you try to kind of figure out your strengths and weaknesses and get a better understanding of your relationship with yourself. And then you're also going to look at your relationship external to yourself, so your relationship with other people and what that looks like. And none of us are perfect, right? So we can all improve in certain ways, and that's what this class is all about: is seeing in what areas are we strong and in what areas are we weak, and how can we improve upon our weaknesses to be the best version of ourselves that we could possibly be. So it's a pretty cool class. It's interesting in that it's almost like doing therapy on yourself, so it's kind of fun. My name is Devin Fell. I'll be your instructor. I have a master's degree of science in industrial organizational psychology, which is a field of psychology that not a lot of people know about. But it's basically like business psychology. So if an organization is having a tough time with anything in the workplace, so maybe it's employee morale or productivity is low, they'll hire a consultant like myself to come in, and then we will assess the situation and use different psychological principles like classical conditioning and operant conditioning to improve morale and make sure that the people at the workplace are being treated well and that they feel respected and a sense of meaning, and that the employers are happy with what they're getting out of their employees as well. So I do that. But, since we're going to be sharing so much about ourselves in this class, I would like to kind of open the dialogue to that by sharing about myself. So I'm a Chargers fan, now a Los Angeles Chargers fan, which is tough because they always lose. Um, and I am a big fan of the show Big Brother, so I'm super excited to watch that this summer. And then also, I'm a mom, so I have a 2-year-old, and at the time I'm recording this video, I'm currently pregnant. And so that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I teach a lot of different classes. I work at Chaffey, Mount Sac, San Bernardino, Fullerton College. I teach statistics, research methods, intro to psych, development. Ooh, this class. I don't know, there's more that I'm probably, critical thinking. There's more that I'm probably forgetting. But at any rate, the reason that that is pertinent information to you is that if you need to contact me, the best way to do so is to email me. And I encourage you to email me anytime. I try to get back to my students as soon as possible within 24 hours. So I want to be there for you and be available to help. When you do email me, the best course of action is to put your course number into the subject line, so I know exactly what course you're in, so I don't have to waste your time writing back and saying, who are you, what class are you in, before I can answer your actual question. So please, if you could do that, it'd just make it easier for both of us. And then I'm going to be holding office hours, virtual office hours on a chat room. And we do that once a week. I do it on Mondays at 9 p.m., 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And virtual office hours or the chat is not required at all, but some people like to come on there and chat about things we've been talking about in class, or ask me questions about what's coming up or where their grade is at in the class or whatever. So that's just one way to communicate with me if you want to communicate with me live. So if you maybe have like a lot of back and forth type questions, that'd be a good way to do that. As far as the textbook, you are going to need the book I Never Knew I Had a Choice: Explorations in Personal Growth. It's the 11th edition. And so you'll want to pick that up because you will be tested and responsible for information that is in the text, but maybe not discussed in lecture. So you need to be reading the book for sure. You can use the course calendar to help you know what chapters we're going to be covering next, and if possible, read the chapter before you watch. We're going to watch lecture videos in this class. I'm going to make videos for each, or I have videos for each chapter, and then you're going to watch them and take notes, just like you would if you were in class. But you will need to be responsible for all the material from that chapter, not just what's covered in the lecture videos, because it's kind of hard to cover everything. So at any rate, you need the textbook, and you want to try to read before you watch a lecture video on a chapter. So this course is designed to focus on any factors that are affecting personal and social awareness, topics such as culture, gender, ethnicities, your childhood, socioeconomic status. So we examine all of that, and we look at how a scientist or clinician study and practice psychology kind of by applying it all to ourselves. So that's the course description. In terms of attendance, you are required to check in to our course online twice a week. And so the first check-in has to be completed by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. However, you can check in whenever you want before that. And then the second check-in is required to happen sometime before Saturday at 11:59 p.m. So your check-ins have to happen on 2 different days, but they can happen any day of the week as long as they are before the check-in deadline. So check-in 1 should happen before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. and check-in 2 should happen before Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so weeks for us are going to start on Sunday at 12 a.m., so first thing on Sundays, and then they're going to end on Saturday at 11:59. So that's kind of the structure of when weeks start and end. And so on check-in number 1, you're going to watch and listen to the lecture video, and then throughout the lecture video, you'll be given little tasks to do, and you will complete those tasks on a separate document. So you might want to pull up like a Word document or whatever is comparable to that on your computer. And then as I go through the lecture video, I'll instruct you of different things to do in those lecture activities, and you will complete them on that open file you have and then submit them to our online course. So you will have to, in check-in 1, watch the lecture video and then submit the lecture activities on check-in 1 as well. So you'll complete them and then submit them. And each week there is a forum assignment, like a discussion board. And so you will need to make a post, an original post that you write, to the discussion board by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. So that's what you're going to do on check-in 1. Watch the lecture video, submit the lecture activities, and post to the forum. And then on check-in 2, you are going to take a quiz on the chapter or chapters that we're covering that particular week. And you are going to also complete a journal assignment, which basically we'll go over in a second, but it asks you to relate what we're talking about in class to your personal life. And then you are going to be required to post 2 replies on that forum that you had posted an original post on earlier in the week. You're going to be required to post 2 replies to your peers, and those replies will be due Saturday by 11:59 p.m. So another thing you need to know is that if you choose to stop attending or participating in this course, it's your responsibility to drop. I'm not going to drop you unless you don't participate in Forum 1 by Saturday of the first week of the course. So if you don't participate by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. in the forum the first week of the course, I will assume you're not taking the course anymore, and I will drop you to make room for people trying to add. So you want to make sure you participate in the forum by the end of week 1, so by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so there are 820 points possible in this course. All this information can be found on the syllabus. You see me looking down, I'm just looking at the syllabus, so you can kind of follow along if you want to by getting the syllabus off our online course. But at any rate, the course is worth 820 points, and so we have those lecture activities I mentioned. There's 13 lecture videos, so there's 13 lecture activity assignments that correspond with each video. And there are up to 10 points each. So if you do everything that's asked of you in the lecture video on your lecture activity and then submit it, you could get 10 points for each one, which would total 130 points for the lecture activities. You want to type your responses, like I said, on a Word document or something compatible. And your responses should be 12-point font, Times New Roman, double spaced, and have 1-inch margins. The length requirement for each activity is different. It just depends on the task. Usually it's like a couple sentences that you'll be writing. It's not too heavy in terms of a workload. I just want to make sure you're watching the video and paying attention, and so that's kind of the point of the lecture activities. Plus it helps you to get like a deeper understanding because you're going to be applying everything to yourself, and by answering the questions I'm asking. So each response should be clear, concise, and comprehensive. Just get to the point, answer the question, no fluff, no filler. But you also want to answer it well, so you don't want to leave out anything that would be important information. You want to be thoughtful and detailed in your response, but you don't want to kind of ramble or drone on like I'm doing right now. Okay, and then your completed lecture activity document will need to be uploaded as one file to Moodle by Thursday of each week at 11:59 p.m. But you can turn it in Monday or Tuesday or whenever you want before that. That's just the latest it can be turned in. And so then we have forum activities, and there's 13 forums, so there's 130 points possible for the forum. So each forum is worth up to 10 points. You'll be required to make one original post, which is due by Thursday at 11:59 p.m., and then 2 replies, which are due by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. And so each post and each reply should be a minimum of 1 paragraph. And for our purposes, I consider a paragraph to be 5 sentences. So essentially, if you're making 1 post and 2 replies, your total workload for a forum is 3 paragraphs or 15 sentences. And so the grading for the forum is similar to what I described for the grading for the lecture activities. Just be thorough, be comprehensive, be thoughtful in your response, but get to the point, and be clear. And I think that's all I have for the forum activities. Okay, and then there's quizzes. So there's going to be 13 quizzes, 1 for each chapter. And the quizzes are due by 11:59 p.m. on Saturday of each week. So those should happen on check-in 2. And each one is worth 10 points. They're just multiple choice questions about the chapter. So you can get the answers from the lecture video or from the textbook. And then we have our journals, and there's 13 journals, and they total 130 points. Each one's worth 10 points. There's 1 journal per chapter, and so you need to turn in the journals by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. So the journal should also happen on check-in 2. And then we will have 2 exams. Each exam is worth 100 points. You get 1 attempt per exam, so once you open it, you can't pause it or log out of Moodle and log back into it. So once you start, you start. And so you have 3 hours, though, to complete it. So you have 3 hours to do the exam, but once you start the exam, the 3-hour time starts, and it can't be stopped. And so there will be 50 multiple choice questions on each exam, and each one's worth 2 points, and you'll take that right on the online course as well. And it's worth noting that the final exam happens the finals week is shorter. So you want to pay attention to the course calendar and see when the final exam is due, because it's going to be due earlier than Saturday, which is when the midterm is due. So the midterm will be due Saturday of the week that it's assigned at 11:59 p.m., but the final week, the final exam will be due earlier than that. So check the course calendar for the dates. And then finally, we're going to have a self-awareness project worth 100 points. And so there is a handout on the online course that will explain to you what's expected of you in the self-awareness project. But basically, you're going to interview 3 people and ask them questions that I've written for you about yourself to try to gain a deeper sense of self-awareness and better understanding of yourself, so that you know where your strengths and weaknesses are, or, maybe you won't agree with what they say, but at least you'll know how some people perceive you, so that could be helpful. The video needs to be 5 minutes. There's other details about what's required in the video on the self-awareness project handout, so you definitely want to read through that. Actually, that's one of the things you'll want to do today, is read through that handout after you watch this video. And you'll need to post the video to YouTube, but you can make it private and then make it so that only I can see it, and I tell you how to do that on the video project handout. I also have a video of how to do that on the FAQ forum on the course. And this project is due by the last day of the semester at 11:59 p.m. So it's due when the finals due. And after you read over the the self-awareness project handout, after you read over that, if you have any questions, just email me and I'll be happy to answer any questions for you. Okay, and then in terms of grading, if you look on the syllabus, there's a grading scale that breaks down like how many points you have to get an A and an A minus and a B. So check that out. Your course grade is based simply on how many points you earn and nothing else, so that it's completely objective. I never give students points for no reason. So whatever grade you earn will be based purely on the number of points that you earn. And then I don't accept late assignments or makeup assignments. And makeup exams are allowed on a case-by-case basis, and I usually request documentation, so there has to be a compelling reason why you couldn't take the makeup exam, like you were in the hospital or something like that. So if you need a makeup, just email me and be prepared to have appropriate documentation from a judge or a police officer or a doctor or something like that. Academic dishonesty, so cheating on exams, plagiarism of any kind is not allowed. You will get a 0 on the assignment the first time it occurs, and then if it happens again, I will have to report you to the appropriate administration here at the college, and they will take it from there, which is never a good thing. So don't plagiarize. There's tools set up in the online course to catch plagiarism and things like that. So just do your own work. And then if you need any technical assistance, there is a help forum on the course where you can communicate with your classmates and ask them questions, and they can respond to you. I don't look at that forum. That one's just for you guys. But it also has the information for tech support on that forum. And then I have a FAQ forum, which has a bunch of videos on how to do things within the course. So you can find some answers there as well. And you can also always contact me if you have any questions. And then there are disability programs and services available through our college. So if you need any assistance, please contact the disability programs and services at the number on the syllabus and inform me of any accommodations that you might need. And then finally, respectful and appropriate behavior. So this course requires all students to be tolerant, respectful, and sensitive to others. Inappropriate behavior, including acts of discrimination, inappropriate content or language, or otherwise will be addressed and may be reported to the appropriate college administration. So just be nice. You never know what kind of language offends people, or if you want to talk about something controversial, just kind of do it in a professional way, with kid gloves on, so to speak, so that you're not offending anyone. If you disagree with someone, sometimes you'll be asked in this class to do assignments where you have to find someone that you disagree with and talk to them about their point of view. And whenever you do that, you want to be very respectful and kind and patient. So just make sure that you are treating others with empathy and kindness, and we should be good. If anything were to arise and there was a problem with the content that you were posting, I would let you know. And then finally, if you have any questions about anything, come to me for help. I'm here to help you. I want you to succeed. I want you to do well in the course. I'm on your team, so let me know if I can help you in any way. And then the course calendar is the last page of the syllabus. The course calendar is something that you should always have readily available. You might want to save it to your desktop or print it out and put it next to your computer so that you always know what week we're doing which chapter or chapters. Sometimes we do several chapters a week, so make sure that you have that course calendar available so you know when everything is. And today what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and log on to the course, and you're going to check out the syllabus if you haven't already done that, and you are going to read over the self-awareness project handout. Make sure you have a good understanding of that and ask me any questions. and then you can go ahead and get started on the assignments for this week. So remember that you'll need to post to the forum and submit your lecture activities and watch the lecture video by 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. And then you'll need to do your 2 replies on the forum, your journal, and your quiz by Saturday at 11:59 for all the chapters that we're covering that week. And so I think that's all I have for you. So go ahead and get started. You can do this. You're going to hopefully enjoy yourself in this course. I'm always here to help. It's nice to meet you. I hope you have a good day, and I'll be talking to you in the next lecture video.